We've been talking about hypocrites today, and one thing that pissed me off about Destiny's conversation on Piers Morgan wasn't just the fact that Piers Morgan was literally purposefully not asking the conservative panelists to condemn January 6th. That didn't just disgust me, the fact that a Brit with all that power and all that influence was poisoning the minds of Americans by convincing them that January 6th isn't that big of a deal. But one of the panelists, Dave Rubin, was condemning Destiny's comments about the Trump assassination attempt. Now, come to find out, on the Destiny subreddit, Dave Rubin made fun of Pelosi being attacked. Oh yes, he did. It's very much real. So, here we see a tweet about the attack from Carol Markowicz, and here we have Dave Rubin talking about stop hammer time in response to the attack on Pelosi. So Dave Rubin seems to think it's funny that Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer by a lunatic. This is the same Dave Rubin who was shocked, bewildered, surprised, in disbelief when Destiny refused to condemn the attack on Trump, the assassination attempt on Trump, on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Dave Rubin sat there and pretended like he couldn't believe that somebody would sink to such depths. But as we see today, Dave Rubin is a scummy, lying little snake. And, you know, I always wondered why no one likes Dave Rubin. Conservatives don't like him. The Groypers don't like him. Liberals don't like him. Far left people don't like him. And to be honest, I'm starting to realize that maybe he's disliked for a reason. It's kind of like Elon. You know, the reality is there's just nothing likable about Dave Rubin. This is a guy who actually asked if Ben Shapiro would come to his gay wedding. Of course he's not coming to your wedding, you fucking loser. This is a guy who's voting for Donald Trump, who is backed by a movement that seeks to overturn gay rights. Dave Rubin, you are a weirdo. Who votes for a movement that's telling everyone that gay shit, we're turning it off? Who votes for that? Who does that? You! Only you! No one, like, bro, you, like, it blows my mind when white women in general, gay people, minorities vote for Trump. Bro, Trump does not control this monster anymore. Trump has created a machine he can't control. And this movement is only going to go further and further and further and further and further more right. If you ain't white, straight, and Christian, and maybe even male, there is no future for you in MAGA America. Excuse me, Trumpite America. We will no longer associate making America great again with these lunatics. There is no future for you in Trumpite America if you are not white, straight, Christian, and maybe male. I think maybe white women will have like a few years to like be equal, and then eventually some things will happen to their rights as well. Dave Rubin's a weirdo for voting for this. But the fact that Dave Rubin pretended like he had the moral high ground when this man made a joke about a man being attacked with a hammer simply because of politics is disgusting. This man literally sat there and pretended like he had the I don't know if Dave Rubin deleted the tweet. This guy is a snake. This guy is a snake. This guy is he's just disgusting. Total hypocrite. And this is part of the reason why a lot of people on the left are done trying to be charitable with conservatives. Because conservatives pearl clutch, and then you dig in their history and you find out they've been laughing at political violence the whole time. The whole time. Dave Rubin sitting there pretending like he's got the moral high ground, and the whole time he's been celebrating political violence. The woman on the panel was acting like she had the moral high ground, and then when asked about January 6th, well, you know, it's been said that there's been a lot of agents there, and just conspiracy theory, refusing to condemn an attack on literal democracy. Somehow, these two, Dave Rubin, who literally laughed at a man being attacked with a hammer, and that woman who basically is just in January 6th denial, they are the arbiters of political decency. But Destiny's not. Destiny's the bad guy. Destiny's insane. Dave Rubin sees the light. He knows what the best path for us is. Get the fuck out of here. Dave Rubin, you are a hypocrite. Look at this again. Look at him. This man's disgusting. Like, who even thinks to do this? Who thinks to do this? Who? I don't like Trump. I really don't. Okay? Like, after reading about the indictment and finding out that Trump knew a month and a half ahead of time that the election wasn't stolen and still used his supporters as battering rams against Congress to make them commit fraud, the fact that he used his supporters in that way and still had the audacity to pardon his goons like Flynn and Bannon, but not the January 6ers, he's a traitor to his own voters. He disgusts me. January 6th disgusts me, but if you're going to organize an insurrection, at least have the spine to defend those who committed crimes in your name when you were lying to them. The fact of the matter is, even after finding out all of these things about Trump before the assassination attempt, I still didn't make posts joking, laughing, even insinuating that any of it is funny. It's not funny. I heard Barron Trump. I don't know if it's true because conservatives lie, but I saw a video that implied that Barron Trump was in attendance at the rally. This shooter tried to kill somebody in front of it. Of course, it was live, so if Trump had gotten shot and killed, even if his family wasn't there, it would have been like, everybody would have seen it. But bruh, if Barron was there, he would have almost witnessed live his father being killed. There's nothing funny about that at all. It's not a joke. The fact that Dave Rubin found it in him to laugh about Paul Pelosi being attacked, conservatives, if y'all want liberals to meet you in the middle, y'all have to start showing that there's some kind of line. You are the crazy ones. You're actively supporting a president right now who committed an insurrection, engaged in insurrection, in the name of fraud that he knew did not exist. The election fraud was not real. He was the one actually engaging in election fraud. And then he called for the suspension of the Constitution over fraud that he knew didn't exist. Y'all have to draw a line somewhere. You have to. Because if you don't, there's no going back. Dave Rubin is a prime example of what I'm talking about. The dude engages in celebration of political violence and then simultaneously is pearl clutching because Destiny won't condemn the shooting in front of him. Absolute hypocrite. Honest to God, conservatives, y'all gotta clean up house. Okay, I've condemned Destiny's comments multiple times, but if y'all aren't gonna condemn what's going on with your political pundits, we're never gonna meet in the middle. There's never gonna be any kind of there's never going to be any sort of agreement or understanding here. This is part of the reason why Piers Morgan's video had no effect on me, because it's like Piers Morgan refused to ask the two of them to condemn J6. Dave Rubin dodges the J6 question, and then the woman starts rattling off conspiracy theories. Conservatives, you look crazy. You look insane. You look absolutely insane right now. And that's just the truth of it. Elon's a hypocrite. Dave Rubin's a hypocrite. It is what it is.